Undoubtedly, Chuck Norris reigns as the king of karate. But here's a shocking fact many overlook: he wasn't always a household name. His massive breakthrough hit in 1967 at Madison Square Garden. The crowd showed up expecting a routine martial arts tournament. Little did they know they were about to witness history unfold live. Two warriors faced off across the mat, embodying contrasting karate styles. What elevated this clash? The enigmatic opponent opposite him. Who was this hidden force? Stick around as we unpack the epic tale. The legendary showdown. For those in the seats that day, it became an unforgettable spectacle. On one side stood Joe Louis, the juggernaut, the Marine, the fighter whose strikes could shatter bones. To fans, he seemed invincible, the unbeaten champ battling with surgical military accuracy and fierce, unrelenting drive. Joe's prowess screamed pro-athlete dominance. Opposite him, Chuck Norris. Poised, laser-focused, lethal in precision. He wasn't the flashiest presence, but once on the mat, all eyes locked in. The real jaw-dropper came with his intro announcement. Nobody saw it coming. Back then, Chuck Norris lived as a laid-back instructor. Yet inside he burned to prove himself. For him, this transcended a simple bout. It was a pivotal war defining his destiny. That night's outcome wouldn't just name a victor. It would rewrite karate's legacy. Few realized it, but this one duel sparked a domino effect, catapulting Chuck Norris to martial arts fame, transforming U.S. perceptions of karate, and paving the way for modern combat sports evolution. The vibe at Madison Square Garden in 1967 buzzed with electric tension, the type signaling something epic. For America's first time, karate hit the big leagues. No tiny dojo scrimmage or neighborhood spar. This was the All-American Karate Championship, the grandest U.S. martial arts event ever. Beneath the arena's glaring spotlights, journalists scrambled for prime views. Photographers prepped gear to freeze historic moments. Martial artists hailed from nationwide spots like Texas, California, New York, Virginia. They aimed to showcase their style, school, or mentor as supreme. Hundreds of voices hummed through the venue, blending anxiety, ego, and raw hype. Rules stayed straightforward, point-based scoring via clean hits. Contact okay, but goal wasn't demolition. It was showcasing mastery, accuracy, and skill. For guys like Joe Louis, though, it felt restrictive. He'd always preached that punches must sting, kicks must finish fights. You don't claim victory by poking, he famously quipped. Rules aside, if anyone could rule them, it was Joe Louis. In prelims, Louis bulldozed opponents with savage velocity. His blistering kicks, crushing blows, and elusive steps baffled foes. Each action radiated command. Spectators felt his intensity vibrate. He embodied unbridled, unbreakable, homegrown might. Meanwhile, Chuck Norris glided like a phantom. His tactic diverged sharply. No overwhelming force, instead systematic breakdowns. A sly feint, a spot-on riposte. Strikes always intentional. No excess energy, no lapsed concentration. If Louis thundered, Norris flashed as silent lightning. Rounds progressed, suspense mounted. Fans sensed the clash looming. By semis, their finals face-off seemed locked in. Whispers spread. Some bet Louis would demolish him. Others backed Norris's edge. Sure, less famous than Louis, but his tactics? Unbeatable. Too clever, he'll outsmart him. Judges buzzed subtly too. All sensed this eclipsed mere sport. Arena energy surged as finalists got called. Reporters edged closer, flashes popped, fans rose. Every gaze glued to the mat for the impending showdown. Names boomed, crowd noise hit fever pitch. Mats readied, judges seated, the brutal battle ignited. Seconds in, shock struck. Joe Louis and Chuck Norris advanced, bowed, assumed guards. Ref signaled start. Louis lunged explosively, pure velocity and menace. His lead kick hammered at Norris's torso like a siege weapon. But Norris dodged sideways, parrying minimally to hold ground. Before Louis regrouped, Norris struck back. A swift ridge hand, crisp, keen, timed flawlessly. First point to Norris. Crowd hushed briefly. Underdog leading against Louis? Unthinkable. Then cheers crashed like surf. Echoes boomed. Chuck Norris stayed stoic, ignoring fleeting triumph. He recentered, gaze serene, breath even. Louis fumed, ego stung. Jaw tight, breath sharp. He retaliated fiercely, unleashing mighty sidekicks, whirling back fists, a storm of blows blurring sport and warfare. But Chuck Norris evaded the trap. He decoded Louis's cadence effortlessly, dodging, twisting, retorting pro-style with compact, effective shifts. Command total. Blocks intentional, footwork plotted. To novices it seemed easy. Veterans spotted the genius. Lewis grazed Norris's side, thud resounding over din gasps swept stands. Norris grimaced yet held firm, firing a whip-like roundhouse that pushed Lewis back. Tempo scorched. No yielding. Norris chained back fist to roundhouse fluidly. Lewis countered with torso hammers, drives hurting Norris mat edge. Ref intervened twice for breaks. Point sparring edged toward raw brawl. Tense lull hit. Duo orbited stairs fused. Fans felt the build-up, prelude to magic. And magic unfolded. Lewis unleashed his hallmark, rear lean then high kick surge. Foes usually blinded, but Norris prepped. He blocked, whirled heel, twisted neatly, riposte hitting Lewis's gut with pinpoint accuracy. Gasps then roars. Another Norris point. Lewis gaped, outplayed after ages. Face red, sweat streaming. He ramped assaults, quicker, frantic for control. Norris soaked it, parrying, retorting, owning turf with Hunter's calm. Then opportunity struck. Lewis stormed final blitz, limbs wild in desperate might. Norris evaded punch narrowly. Timed ideally, he swatted Lewis's throat shot, spun crisp, lunged with bolt-swift reverse punch. Hit pure, irrefutable. Hush instant. Announcer boomed, Chuck Norris wins. Arena exploded in ovations shock. Some froze, others leaped. Flashes lit as Norris bowed humbly, visage tranquil, torso panting. Opposite, Lewis stood still, pride pierced, brain looping the end. Rage faded, realization dawned. Defeated not by force but poise, endurance, order. For Chuck Norris, beyond win, it validated that accuracy beats might, mental command trumps wild fury. Amid roaring masses, Chuck Norris nodded subtly to Lewis, honoring two titans reshaping their art. That Madison Square Garden evening forever altered karate. Karate buffs pondered, how did newbie-ish Chuck Norris topple Joe Louis? Grasped that via his backstory rewind. The life scoops ahead? Mind-blowing. Chuck Norris's karate origins. Chuck Norris's path started worlds from Madison Square Garden's glamour, in South Korea's gritty air bases during U.S. Air Force duty. Amid endless shifts and rigs he found Tang Soo Do, a Korean art prizing flow, equilibrium, control amid turmoil. Instantly hooked, to him each motion spoke volumes, each kick voiced art. He drilled tirelessly, not soldier brutal, but artisan patient. Daily he honed forms till instinct ruled. Dissected methods, scanned angles, timed with lab-like exactness. Data-driven, Chuck Norris embodied it, watching, logging, tweaking. If Lewis fought innate, Norris built via step-by-step calculus. Temperamentally, Chuck Norris opposed Joe Louis utterly. Humble, silent, deferential, the listener over talker. Competitions? Learning chances. Fame shunned, insight chased. He quipped, I fight not to ruin but refine. Style mirrored, techniques purposeful. Not quickest or mightiest but sharpest. Opponents studied like chessboards, steps ahead always. Timing, range, flexibility armed him. Method paid dividends soon. Chuck Norris racked wins, not via dazzle or muscle but steadiness, restraint. Triumphs chained. First dojo opened, then more. Mid-1960s, California schools bloomed under him, molding fresh U.S. martial talents quietly. Buzz grew. No showboat, he taught, pondered, engineered. Outcome? Stunning. Unforeseeable. Hollywood eyed him. Soon training stars like Steve McQueen, Bob Barker, drawn to his serene command, fine-tuned accuracy. To them, beyond coach, patience-focused guru. Fame rising yet underrating persisted. Lacked Lewis's blast or aura. No yeller or teaser. Crowd saw quiet challenger, equals respected sans dread. Under calm shell? Tireless plotter. Norris scouted tourneys, bouts, dissecting Joe Louis's advances, strike beats, pauses. Noted intimidation reliance, thriving on faux freezes. Norris vowed no freeze, adapt instead. 4 months pre-1967 All-American Karate Championship. Chuck Norris amped training. Honed retorts, nailed turns, rehearsed calm amid chaos. Not mere event prep, Louis showdown readying. Thus, championship call hit. Chuck Norris recognized his lifelong trial. Pre-global Chuck Norris fame, Joe Louis ruled as champ archetype. No mere brawler, a human tempest. Punches weighted discipline, ferocity, intent. To crowds not top, impervious. North Carolina-born Joe Louis's ascent launched in U.S. Marine Corps. Okinawa posting introduced classic Japanese karate. Shorin-ryu stressing velocity, exactness, rapid counters. But Louis envisioned arsenal. Drilled beyond fatigue, vowing import and remix uniquely. Stateside return? Beyond black belt, a Marine-tempered, Okinawa-forged warrior. Matches as war zones, karate domination not display. Energy crackled electric. More. Physically imposing, wide frame, springy limbs stare unnerving pros. Motions crisp straight. No fritter, no pause. Attacks. No creep, blitzes. Signature rush, savage closure swamping before response. Most missed scoring hits. One rival likened him to oncoming tank, visible, unstoppable. By 1966, Joe Louis national icon. Press obsessed. All-American Marine morphing karate to power precision show. Ruled nationals, felling champs ruthlessly. Wins. Declarations. Built fear kingdom. Fighters murmured his drive, ire, raw fire. Inspirational to some, scary to others. Confidence neared hubris. Entered events knowing mental winds pre-blow. Trained war soldier style, obsessive, perpetual, systematic. Dawns, drill hours, fitness, psyche prep. Quoted, body follows mind. Mind folds? Defeat sealed. That ethos beyond brawn or quickness rendered him unconquerable. 1967 dawn, Joe Louis topped U.S. karate. Modern arts face, emblem of rule, order, brute force. Name-packed houses. Aura commanded awe. Assurance ironclad. All deemed him unbeatable. Peers benchmarked via him. Self-view, invulnerable. Pre-championship mindset, untouchable. Yet as Joe Louis owned limelight, a silent rival forged his downfall arsenal. Karate's post-era world. Pre-Madison Square Garden night, U.S. karate equated power contests. Who struck swifter, fiercer, angrier? But Chuck Norris's serene accuracy, ordered flow charted fresh routes. Fighters grasped wins via right-time strikes, not first. His foreseeing Louis's onslaughts, millimeter sidesteps, pinpoint counters birthed sport-shifting idea. Calculated command. Abruptly all mimicked Norris. Steps, counters, zone sense rivaled might, velocity. Old strike first, hard faded for brainier battles valuing smarts equals zeal. Birth of fight IQ in martial lingo. Techniques alone insufficient, grasp psyches too. Chuck Norris proved pressure poise could topple mightiest foes. His Zen calm modeled for eras. U.S. dojo stress tactics, restraint over pure muscle. Lesson, strongest? Not hardest hitter, unwavering focuser. Even wilder, press dubbed it American karate's dawn. Tourney crowds balloon post that. Backers hype masters TV-eyed in. Karate evolved beyond discipline, to sport with icons, feuds, fan tales. Era definers Joe Louis, Chuck Norris. But deepest legacy? Not strategy or tech, heart. Nationwide, budding fighters spied in Chuck Norris' self-revision spark. He lacked size, volume. No scare win, mastery win. What say you on Chuck Norris's Madison Square Garden karate coup? Did his ways truly reshape karate per popular belief? Drop opinions below. Love this? Like, share, subscribe now. Hit notifications for future drops. Tap suggested video next, you'll dig it.